Good afternoon. I am here with Anthony Longo, President of the State Council from 2018 to 2019. When you joined the State Council, were you a staff member, management?
I was management.
Okay. And who did you meet that made you want to advance in the council?
So, Ted, go back a second. When I joined the council or when I became president?
When you joined the council.
When I joined the council, I was a resident.
And what made who got you involved and made you want to move up?
So it wasn't so much a moving up as here's your paperwork and you're joining. That was Seymour Katz. So on the first day of residency, he handed me my co-resident applications and said, "You joining the New York State Council."
Okay. So it was Seymour, huh?
Yeah.
How many of the previous past presidents did you know, and what were they like? You already named one. Seymour was a past president.
Seymour, at the time, there was Ray Sandusky that I worked with, when I was president, and then obviously became friends with himself, John, Manzo, and the rest of the leadership within the council. And Frank Snowski, Dawkinson, as well, Karen, Florida, too many to name.
All right. What challenges did you see as a member, a board member, and then as president of the organization?
So early on, when I was joining, and John had brought me on to one of the councils, there was the need for expanding our internet presence. That was a large thing early on, back in the early to mid 90s. That was something that I think that we were working on, and that was a challenge that John brought forward and asked me to help with. And we spent many years working on our, establishing an internet presence, from moving from a listserv to that web presence that we have, and now continues today.
Okay. Seeing the council grow through the years, do you feel we've met all those challenges?
I think that we've met all the challenges as they, come forward to us, and we continue to find new challenges and address them, as they come forward.
Membership always seemed to be an issue. Do you remember what members wanted during your presidency?
Uh, with members, I think, it's changed over the years, where they wanted programs, live programs, different changes in the topics of the programs as we matriculated through different changes with the New York State requirements. We've met those. Also, increasing membership was a large thing that we needed to look at. And then also, at certain points in time, and I'm not sure a lot of people realize this, different chapters throughout the council have faced financial challenges, and working together with the leadership of the council, we've been able to address those and make the chapters flourish. And I look back today, and I working with the different chapters. It's such a change, and such a great pleasure to see how they've excelled and exceeded over the years.
How often did the board meet, and where did they meet? Was it very organized and professional, or was it more camaraderie?
So, early on when I started, there was a lot of I want to say formal meetings where we would meet in Albany, or often, and then we would also have leadership and development meetings for new and upcoming members that were looking to advance in leadership. Those were some of the things that I remember most and enjoyed most, especially when I was a resident and just a staff pharmacist coming up in leadership. The programs that we had for new leaders really helped me because it put me in touch with the directors that I now stand, side by side with. So it brought my career to a next level.
Okay. Were there any major mishaps or issues when you were president, which would be useful to future presidents not to repeat?
I don't think that there was any mishaps per se that I directly, point out. I would just say the most important thing for presidents is to work with the board, make sure that the people that they're working with and they're entrusted to count on them, rely on them, know what they can do, know what they can't do, and if they need help, you know, have them know that there is the support of the rest of the board that they can rely on.
Okay. Now, the annual assemblies. When you became a member, what were the early annual assemblies like, and where were they held?
So my early assemblies, they were actually in the fall, and they were held at the Sagamore. When we had them, they were great. There was, they continue to still be, but they were in the fall. It was a little bit different. I felt like being at the Sagamore just added to the closeness and the camaraderie that we developed with it, because literally we were all on an island, and having that closeness allowed us time to sit, and you got a chance to really sit down with one another and talk one-on-one with leaders and with your colleagues.
Okay. What was it like when you were president? Was it busy, chaotic, or sedate at the assembly?
At the assembly, the meeting, I would say, has ever been chaotic in that sense. I have to give kudos to the team that works with us. They really have everything under control now. Over the years, we've progressed from doing everything ourselves to having the help, and it's really changed the way the meeting experience from applications that we've had. So there's no chaos. I feel anything that you see or any chaos that might be, I don't think the members actually see any of that, if there is that.
Okay. Generational changes. When you started, did you feel you needed to work your way up to the presidency? New members have a very different philosophy of needing a more evenly divided time between work and play. How do we help them assume these roles in the state council? And will the new members be able to move the council forward? It's a lot of questions in there.
Yeah. One of the things that I see is, and I go back to Seymour, never, assume that something is you're gonna get it right away. And I always felt being on the council, one, starting as a committee member, you had to make your way up, and for lack of a better term, make your bones. And really, that really is what it's about. You need to be on a council, on a committee, work your way into a board position, and then have the option to go to other board positions. Doing that and setting, a goal for yourself. Yeah, you can, yes, I want to become president, but it's not going to happen in 2 years. You need to, this becoming president is in my mind, a long game that should be only accomplished after you've been, like I said, on multiple board positions over several years. And like in my case, I was off of the board, came back, was off, came back, and then became president. And I felt that gave me a different perspective over the years and over my different roles, as a pharmacist within industry and within the hospital. So I think people need to look at the long game, not the short game, becoming president.
Okay. Any final parting nuggets you wish to give the future members who wish to become president?
So one of the main things that I would say is don't think you can't do it. Everybody could become president if they want to. It's really up to help profession, your colleagues, and advance where we are today to where we can be in the future. I know, working with a lot of the new and upcoming pharmacy leaders, they all have the potential. It's whether they want to step up and actually do it. And I encourage them to challenge themselves to set that long-term goal for themselves.
Okay. Thank you so much. With that, we'll end the recorded session.